Before you ever take advice from anyone, what is the first thing you do? Is you check credentials. Who am I? I'm Mr. CEO. I've done plenty of diving, but does that mean I'm the guy you should take advice from? No, go check for yourself. I got this YouTube channel, I got Instagram, and I got great stories and evidence to back up these tips. And I'm not going to give you the rinky-dink ChatGPT generated tips. I'm going to give you proven stories and stuff that I found helpful from a real diver. Do you think ChatGPT has ever dove? No. Anyways, guys, we got 6 tips total. I'm going to go anywhere from a basic level all the way to advanced tips. So this video is for everyone. First tip, the more fish you're able to shoot, the faster you're going to learn. Do not go out there and expect to see a wahoo swimming by and be able to claim it. You got to hunt grunts. You got to hunt the small fish. You got to hunt the fish that you see all the time. Obviously not illegal fish, not undersized fish. You need to be putting up a lot of shots during a dive. And not only are you going to be a better spear fisherman after practicing on the small fish, your aim is going to be cracked because you've been aiming at fish this size. So imagine how easy it will be when a fish this big comes along. You're going to be able to stone shot it. I also like this tip of shooting as many fish as possible because then you can also practice filleting. That way you can get better at filleting, and then when you get that big fish, you don't screw up the fillet so bad. Now, this next tip is definitely something you haven't heard about, and maybe you've been told to do the opposite. You gotta steal spots. You gotta steal spots like a monkey steals bananas from a tree. I wasted so many spearfishing trips not shooting anything because I would go out to spots that I would not be able to get to the bottom to, and I thought the action would be there, but I would just see sharks pass by, and I was clueless. And I would go to better spots if I knew about them, but I just didn't. And what I ended up doing is getting more involved, asking questions, doing research. Do not think that you're a good diver and you could figure things out. No, you got to do your research. You got to ask around. You got to find the spots that complement your abilities, and then you could grow from there. Now our tips are going to be more oriented to those who have been in the water a couple of times, have shot a couple of fish, but are looking to jump to the next level. My first tip, and one of my favorites, flashers and chums. If you're in open blue water where there's high water column fish flying around, you need a flasher, and there's so much evidence in there. When that fish comes up on a sparkling object that they think is a fish, that'll be the reason you get a shot on it. Most of the time, snapper give you opportunity to shoot at them is because they're curious. And I noticed that high water column fish rarely become curious. For me, I found using a spoon is really helpful, but it's easy to lose them. Having a flasher, which I used to build them, was nice, and I've just been lazy. I'm looking to build more flashers, but I would definitely never go diving without a flasher ever since my last couple dives where it's just been the biggest difference maker. Shooting other fish is one of the easy ways to bring in others, but if you really want to maximize your chances of causing commotion in the water, live bait, chummies specifically, if you could spread chummies, which we call as live small baits, that will bring in some of the biggest fish. That was my biggest day in the water, is when I had a bunch of chummies in the water swimming around. We were shooting dolphins left and right, and even a wahoo came in on under us. And if you can't get your hands on live bait, you could do dead bait. And actually, shout out Chum Bomb, one of my favorite companies right now, because they allow you to buy sandballs packaged and ready to go, which makes it easy on spear fishermen who want to get out there and get to the spot and get their bait on the bottom. I've never seen a chum that gets to the bottom. It's always the chum block that stays on top and never actually gets to the fish. I may or may not be affiliated with that company, but nonetheless is one of the greatest spearfishing tools I have. Let me ask you, what is the first criteria required to dive? It's not a snorkel, it's not fins, it's not the ability to swim. It's as basic as having a heartbeat, which is never guaranteed when you're out diving. My advice is to invest into safety before you invest into the gear and invest into the big trips, because it takes one accident that you will be mentally affected forever, the family members would be mentally affected forever, and you won't be able to dive the same anymore because you have that in the back of your head if you were not careful one time. My story with investing into safety was my level 1 free diving, which was an expensive class, but actually 50 to 70% of the material was all about safety, and it really was eye-opening to how easy it was to have someone black out underwater and lose them. Especially in South Florida where there's current everywhere, it's scary to think about what can happen out there. Moving on to our advanced tips. Anytime I have a buddy that comes up and says, man, I couldn't even get a shot on that big fish, it's a reminder, big fish don't get big for no reason. I've seen many people say that, and I can account for that myself. They're better at recognizing predators. So the better you can look different than other spearfishermen entering that water, the better shot you will have on that fish. As soon as you turn sideways, your appeal to them is a shark. As soon as you swim towards them from behind, you are a shark to them or any other predatory fish. Come to them from the front, look them in the eyes, because sharks, if you've ever been in a water, for anybody who's dove with sharks before, they only approach you if you got your back towards them. The most ideal situation, you dive down, you come around the side, you're really focused on the end. A lot of the bottom eating fish that are good eating fish, they stay behind and they eat the bits and parts that are drifting off the rock, or the fish that can't swim well. The big fish will come and eat those stragglers. So come down, lay in the sand behind the rocks, down current, and I flick up some sand, which is a visual appeal for snapper, which means there's a disturbance. And a lot of the times, I'll flick up the sand and I'll swim through the sand I just flicked up, so I appear out of nowhere like a monster to these fish, and it's already too late for them. For my last tip is be aware how you're spooking the fish. Silent entries. When you guys are jumping off of the boat, that gunnel is a couple feet off the water. You don't think those fish feel those vibrations of you hitting the water? That was a pretty simple video for me to film. I hope it comes out nice on your guys' end. Like, subscribe, and let me know if you'd like to see more of this type of stuff. And I'll see you guys next week.